We're talking about what's stopping you from trusting your employees.
I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.
I was leading a presentation today, and my oh my, we're talking about what's stopping you from trusting your employees. The biggest part of the conversation was the lack of follow through. So many attorneys were sharing, I'm not trusting that so and so can really step into their new role of X, Y, and Z because they're not delegating to team members. We have our weekly stakeholders meeting. We talk about the things that they're going to do, their top 3 for the day or what have you. And consistently, people are getting their top 2 done, but not the top 3. When we do the daily huddle, we're coming back, and I can't understand why. And this is why my employees are constantly saying that I'm a control freak, or I'm not letting go of control, or not delegating enough. But employees, if you're listening to this, no shame or blame, but you know when you have that habit of overwhelm. If you're in law firm admin boot camp, go back to the overwhelm exercise and how to get out of it. Overwhelm is an emotion. Overwhelm is a lack of clarity. Overwhelm is a lack of time management, focus management. When I take law firms through an exercise of really looking at everything that they have on their to-do list, their top 3, their tasks, what have you, and start time chunking it and actually honoring that time chunk, it is amazing how much extra time they have in the day. If you are somebody who consistently has a response of, I didn't get to that. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, it's on my list. Oh, I ran out of time. Oh, I'm waiting on so-and-so before I can complete that task. We are always hearing these statements of, we get it halfway done. Let's start anchoring to we get it the whole way done. So if you're an employee listening to this week's Pocket Coach and you know you're dropping the ball, not intentionally, you know you're running out of time, you know that you're rushing through tasks to get them done because of real due dates, deadlines, what have you, or maybe they're well overdue, or maybe you have habitual responses that start with, oh yeah, dot, dot, dot. Maybe you have pages and pages and pages of legal notes of all your notes from all the meetings that you're in, and you never have time and space and grace to go back to your calendar and actually time chunk them and project manage them. Your attorneys, your bosses, your leaders are not being micromanagers. They do not want to be professional babysitters. They do not like the feeling of being rooted in disappointment or having to constantly check in on things. That's not the highest use of their good. That's not how you grow and scale. So if you're a law firm that has this habit of feeling overwhelmed, wearing too many hats, you need to use your voice and talk to your attorney. Maybe your attorney is not being clear, concise, and well communicated on their direction, on their tasks. Maybe they're giving you too much. The story doesn't matter. The fact pattern doesn't even matter until you stop it. Give your firm the grace of getting in a conference room, getting to a whiteboard, and start having an adult conversation about what's really going on. Maybe you're fearful to step in that new role because you don't have the skill set, the confidence, the competence, the training. Name it. Maybe you're wearing too many hats. Whatever the fact pattern may be, maybe you're a quick start and you're doing a job and failing at follow through every single day, and you really should be in sales, or you really should be in more of community outreach and marketing. Know your DNA, know how you're hardwired, know your overdue tasks, understand project management, focus management, and time management, and everybody get in the room and have an adult conversation. Go to your attorney and ask them the question, what's waking you up at 2 o'clock in the morning? What is not working in this firm right now that you really want to say to us, say to the team, or maybe it's just one person, And then be quiet and listen and take copious notes and really try to put it in departments and compartments of where it's about. Is it sales? Is it marketing? Is it pre-engagement? Is it post-engagement? Is it closing files? Is it collecting money? And try to be a strategic planner for them. And then you reply of what the energy and the tonality of the firm is and really truly why tasks are not being completed. Sometimes it is the sheer volume. Sometimes it's we're saying yes to things without saying, let me think about it, let me go back, do a time study on it, see how long it will take, especially if it's a new initiative that we're implementing, and anchor to your quarterly strategic retreats. We're clipping on year end right now. Before you use your retreat time, your precious retreat time for strategic planning, figure out why we are getting almost to the finish mark and we're getting half done consistently. It's a pattern. And it's either a pattern of wrong people on the bus, wrong people in the seats, but in my experience, it is not because of a lack of a process or a workflow. It might be clarity and communication. It might be unrealistic on how long each step of the process takes. It could be that you need an assistant to help as a project manager and scheduler. It could be that nobody's stepping up to be the daily accountability cop with your daily huddles. It could be when you show up every single day, you review yesterday's top 3, and we're consistently getting 2 done, but not the third. Be deeply curious. Be like a board of directors before you go into your year-end retreats, and use your voice, honest while respectful. Get curious about the data and the information, and then have an adult conversation about really why things are falling through the cracks. Whether you're in an existing role, you're transitioning into a new role, whatever it might be. My greatest wish, my greatest suspicion is it's truly a capacity. Attorneys hear these words overwhelmed. They hear these words too busy. They hear these words too blank, 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 too much, not enough time. But those are emotions. You want to anchor to data and information. When I tell law firms all the time, it takes 45 minutes to put an estate planning binder together. Like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, here's your assignment. Go do it. They come back, they're like, oh, crap, it took me an hour and 10, whatever it might be. So really get into each other's perspective and do a time-chunking activity on each step of the process, times X amount of prospects, times X amount of ideal clients that we want. If our goal is generate $100,000 a month and we cannot get past 60, it's a capacity issue. In my experience, it is never a lead problem. It is never a marketing problem when you're stuck at that number. You have to, before you start looking at lead generation and marketing, you have to get curious about lead conversion, and you need to get very, very curious about who's doing what and how many hats they're wearing, and then have an upfront, honest, while respectful conversation. So if you're an attorney completely frustrated with the lack of consistent follow-through from every person you employ, if you are a team member who is feeling overwhelmed and feel like the expectations are unrealistic or too much, or you know you're suffering in silence because something's broken, you're just juggling balls every single day and playing whack-a-mole, and you can't figure out why you can't get all your work done, and you're stressed out at night and dreading going to work in the morning, hop on a call with me. No more suffering in silence. My only request, you come together. I want the team members, I want to read what's being said. I want to read what's not being said. But you better be prepared for a pretty upfront, clear conversation. We're not going to circle the drain. We are going to walk out with a plan you create together, and we're going to anchor to it because the answer is in the room. It is 100% in the room, and I bet my bottom dollar, the team knows this solution. There's just no breath for us. There's no space for you all to sit down and to do that deep dive analysis to be able to see it clearly. So, no more suffering in silence. We're going to stop the bleeding, literally, with the breakdown and the follow through in all departments, in all people, in all processes, and let's finish this year strong and reach goals. It is available for every single one of you. And goal doesn't always mean just about money, because the only way we make money is how we do one thing is how we do everything. And the only way you make money is by a team-centric approach. And even if you're making gobs of money, but things feel broken or shaky or inconsistent, nobody feels confident that we can even 10x it, 2x it, or maintain it. So reach out. No more suffering in silence. No more excuses. No more reasons. If you've ever heard me say this, your excuses and your reasons are the cemetery for your dreams.
I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.